You have to understand that when you think, when you're using your mind, you're not in or using this physical world to use that. This physical world is very inert, very chemical, very limited. The mind does not exist here. The human brain does, and so does all these other brains, but not the mind. The mind is a whole separate level and has a whole worlds and heavens associated with that level. You have the universal mind, which is talked a lot about in terms of cosmic consciousness. It's well known, where one experiences the oneness of all things. When you're feeling the oneness of all things, you're visiting the universal mind. That's where each of us can remember and see the same things. The universal mind can be tapped into whether you're in Serbia or whether you're in the States or wherever you are. We can have the same thoughts because there's a universal mind. Holmes wrote a lot about the universal mind. But in these realms, the mental worlds, you can't not have anything physically without first thinking about it. Therefore, you have to create in the mental worlds first. Then you have to have emotions to put this into gear. And believe me, that's called the astral world. Remember, I told you guys about the John Monroe's clinic in terms of astral travels. There's a whole world called the astral worlds. This office exists there too. You also exist there too. When you use your emotions, you're not using physical reality here. You're using the astral reality. And then you have the physical world. And this is the most mundane, the most constipated, the most claustrophobic of them all. So you have all these levels, and your bodies, you have bodies on these levels, and from that causal world down, you have this body in a form that you can see. I can talk to you in your causal body at night, or even now. When I'm conversing with you, I'm conversing to you as soul. I'm conversing to you in the mind. I'm conversing to your emotions. I'm conversing to the physical as the most inert. Really not that level of intelligence if you understand your higher selves, your higher bodies that you're using. You can converse better. I can converse to you emotionally better. Physically is physical, but not much communication. But emotionally I can communicate to you, and mentally I can communicate to you and do. So we're communicating to each other on all these levels simultaneously. They're just so interwoven that you don't feel the difference. Kind of like a craving for cheese and bread is a fungal craving, but you think it's your own craving. It's so, your parasites are so woven into your body that you don't realize it's not your own craving. And that's how it is with God. You don't realize the separation of these different worlds. You feel like it's all here. But there's so much more to that. And so, yeah, you're going to, as you get your magnetics, your energy up, you're lifting your body into these higher worlds of magnetics. Because the more expansive, the closer to God you get, obviously the more energetic you get. Not the opposite. The more obstructions, the more lack of energy, the more decay you have, the further away from God you get, if there is such a thing of being away from God at all. But downs, great, excellent question. Let's work on them. Let's get them turned around here. The regeneration of genetic weaknesses, the mutations, things like this, it's our only hope. We have to. And the proof is what we've seen before. Remember the spinal bifida case, born without L4 and L5, 3 years on Raw, she has L4 and L5. What's that? Where did that memory come in then? It wasn't there physically. Aha. So that's what I'm saying. There's so much to this. The idea that science has become constipated it shows that narcissist, that ego of the mind that came into this planet and stagnated its growth, and then made a killing machine out of it. I guess it's a good way to reduce population, though. Grinding teeth at night it can be worms. I thought about grinding the teeth can be a lot of things, you know. Neurological, especially weaknesses in the autonomic nervous system, microbes, too much fungus in the body. Could be a lot of things, you know. There's a lot of opinions on it. Let me see here. Yeah, I covered this for you, Jules. This is the lymphatic formulas, and we went over that. I'm glad you asked that question. I really needed to do that because I just keep trying to turn out formulas. These are so many great herbs. I would love, I don't know, I mean, I don't know where my next formula is going to be. I'm real happy with everything I've got now. I've got just about everything covered that I could imagine that we need for tools in getting people well. So I suppose I am working on a baby formula called Mother's Milk by Nature. I was going to call it Gorilla Milk, but it's called Mother's Milk by Nature. It's an infant formula. It's going to power these kids up like nobody's business. These formulas are insane. These manufacturers should be sued over them. High fat, high protein. These new babies, no babies can handle these formulas. They're clogging the baby's lymph systems. Nasty. So this is coming, but right now we're kind of in a, getting powdered fruits, very difficult. Fresh organic powdered fruits is very difficult. A good company that makes them just continues not to call us back. So I need some powdered fruits. I'm going to have powdered hemp, chia. Going to be a powerful food for the infants, and that's what we need. So it's coming. But anybody, even the elderly, can suck that down. And nursing homes, power them up so to do these insures and pedicures and these things that are clogging their lymph systems. These people should be sued for false advertising. Put this pedicure or insure right by a whole bunch of fruits and hug them? Give me a break. There's nothing related to them at all. I mean, it's just unreal. Unreal, the advertising gimmicks. And it's like, after a while, you want to vomit with the ridiculousness of it. Jaggermeyers, what do we got going here, man? Ridge fingernails appears to splinter like objects under the... Oh, you're getting object splinters like under the fingernails. I fell off a telephone pole. I used to work for the phone company years ago. I had to make money. So I was up on a telephone pole, and I had a ladder, but it had a power line going down it, and it was rainy, and I was reaching out, and my ladder started falling. And of course, you never grab the pole because of all the people that have went up. And I generally use my climbers, but all the people that have used their spikes, you've got all these the bark, if you will, sticking out. You never grab a pole because you could really get yourself splintered up. Well, I grabbed the pole, and my whole hand here was full of splinters. So I had to have it surgically, removed. But I kept getting splinters out of my fingernails for years, and found one the other day after 40 years, or so. But, definitely stuff coming out. That's how your body works things out. Isn't that beautiful? So it's something that you've got in you that the body's working out under the fingernails. I would think it's more than calcifications if they look like splinters. So I don't know what to tell you what that is. The fact that you're having the ridged fingernails, definitely you're losing calcium there. Maybe a little weak parathyroid there. You'd have to look at that and see if you see other calcium-related issues. Wouldn't hurt to pump up the parathyroid anyway. Pump on a lot of kelp in your diet. Stay away from acids, nitrogen-rich foods, phosphorus-rich foods. That just leaches all calcium out of the body there. Thanks for viewing, too, by the way. You made a comment that cancer says I addressed that. Thanks, Peter. Thanks to all you guys. If I don't have a chance to mention your name, I appreciate it. Indiana Banana, good man. I mean, thanks for that comment on question and answer 39. I try to make this a continuing education thing, because if you keep it simple and you really catch it, no one can take it away from you, and you're really going. Oh, how you doing, Indiana Banana? I want those legs cleaned up there, my friend. Keep me informed. Keep the staff informed here. Oh yeah, this is about the lady that had the orthoscopic back surgery, and she was 71 and died on the table. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. This is a 100th day on Raw with Harlem. Go, bro, go. Kicking butt, man. Here's an 81-year-old raw foodist for over 20 years. Got to hand it to you, man. 20 years raw foodist. Incredible work, all I can tell you. Now, but we're having, He urinates several times at night. He has to get up 3 or 4 times every night. He had a prostate test done, and it said the prostate size is normal. Well, see what your PSAs are first. You don't have to have hypertrophy or enlargement, but you could still have inflammation in the prostate. See what your PSAs are. Also could be the wall of the bladder, no question. Definitely the lymph system in your kidneys and bladder, because you are forming stones. So you might have been a raw foodist, but that could have included a lot of nuts and other things. So kick it up with the fruitarian thinking. At 81, you're going to do better on it anyway. And get these calcifications out. Go into the kidney formulas, the lymphatic formulas for a while. Clean up the kidneys. Get your lymph system moving better. Because you'll see just on raw, you'll see these people that are not moving their lymph, even on raw. You know, isn't that amazing? So we really have to get, that's why I love the herbs, and you guys will see and come to realize the power of these herbs and how they can fix things that raw foods themselves can't even fix. It's amazing. But and amazing, after 20 years, you'd still have some prostatitis and some kidney and bladder problems. I find that strange, so I don't know. But anyway, I would get after my kidneys, use the kidney formulas, man, and use the lymphatic 4. That's got some astringents that'll help pull and really work on that. Clean up your bowels a little bit here. That'll pull the calcifications out, because you're definitely got too acidic, and it could be interstitial lymphatic constipation in the wall of the kidneys. But just because you've been on raw for 20 years, maybe you haven't detoxed at the top of the mountain. So I would suggest that you get to the top of the mountain. But 81 raw, pretty dang good, bro. Good work there. This is Mei Ling Yin. Honey, I love you. Thanks for the comment there. You're so right. I would love to be on board with a suit against the FDA and the feds. I'm chomping. I'm drooling for that. It's time that these guys have a dose of their own medicine. They don't realize that you only piss off the public so long, and then the public's going to come after you. You know, it's like the old days, like the kings started taxing the people, then stealing more and more and more, and then the people killed the king. I mean, that's just exactly what's going to happen here, and they don't understand it. They're closed, they're unconscious, they're unaware people, and you know, karma swings back. The God people are going to have their butt kicking day. Not that God kicks butt. If you don't think God kicks butt, look around. God does kick butt. So yeah, I mean, this is so small I can hardly read it here. So I'll look this over again. But blessings to you, Maylee. Good thing. I'll look at this again. Does it make sense to anyone? Yeah. This is 303. Does it make sense to anyone other than the various medical associations that God would create an earth that is self-healing, plants that are self-healing, and animals that are self-healing, and then turn around and make man so complicated? Thank you for that. Obvious. Hello. I mean, that's obvious. You're good high guy or whatever. Good work. I mean, this is so true, man. You're right on when you look at that. I read about the herbs, and you're the one that had said, I know, I tell you, we don't know anything about herbs, yet we've had 5,000 years. That's the beauty of this. Like this one lady was working in nettles. Maybe it enhanced her white blood cell counts. The thought, though, in looking at her case was maybe pituitary, reduced the inflammation, pituitary kicked up bone marrow function, and blah, 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 blah. That'd be an interesting link to think about, and an interesting thought when you have cases of low white blood cells. So I can't tell you how much I love herbs. And I think we need to protect their integrity and the earth for the Supreme Being here, and fight those that would assume they're bad. So 303, right on.